One of my favourite stocks at the moment is NIO. You can see here in the past year it's returned 1200%, and I still think it's got a lot of room and it could even potentially grow 10x within the next 3 years. So there's a few things I want to go through in this video. One is how it competes with its biggest competitor is Tesla, kind of their USP, how to compete and why people still want to buy them. Obviously I'll go through some cons as well, what are the risks with the stock, and then obviously some price predictions. But before I get into the video and go into detail on NIO, I just want to ask, for starters, if you haven't signed up to Trading 212 Freetrade or Coinbase, use the link in the description. You can get up to just over £300 worth in free shares and crypto. And secondly, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, because apparently it helps to grow the channel. Okay, so jumping straight into it then. So what is NIO? So NIO, they create smart electric vehicles. They're based in China from Shanghai, and they've just recently released a new sedan that competes with Tesla's Model 3. It's called the ET7, and it's advertising as a premium car brand. It looks like a beautiful thing. It's got a nice glass roof. It's really sporty. 0 to 60 is under 4 seconds. And they've got fantastic customer reviews. Everywhere you go, people are loving this NIO. They've been specialising in SUVs over the past 2 years, I believe, and now they're moving into the sedan market, starting off in premiums, but I expect in years to come they're going to be working into the broader market to get their sales up. So the first kind of topic and broad area I want to go into is how NIO competes with Tesla. So again, I'll go through the highlights and I'm going to go through each of them in detail. So the start is their technology is superior. So they've got better self-driving technology and computers within their cars. China is offering subsidies for people who buy this NIO cars. That means they can have higher profit margins. It helps them compete with Tesla, who's growing in China as well at the moment. But also China itself, where they operate, and a lot of Asia is, and like such as Singapore, they're an untapped market. So they're well positioned to grow. They've got their factories in Hewitt or something. I'll put the name, sorry if I got that wrong. And not only this, Tesla's recently has had to recall 150,000 cars. So this is quite some bad publicity for Tesla, and if there's a competitor that's offering better services, I can guarantee you people will be definitely at least paying an interest in it and hopefully buying these cars. So as they grow, they'll be able to develop more economies of scale, which Tesla currently has as a competitive advantage over them. So for example, this is just building more factories to keep up with demand, which is a problem they're having at the moment. Very similar to Tesla. I think it was 2 years ago or 18 months ago odd. Tesla just couldn't produce as many cars as needed because they didn't have the factories. NIO is facing similar problems, which is why people are predicting the stock's going to go up. And just to highlight how much demand there is for the NIO car, I just wanted to add this quick little snip from an interview Bloomberg done with NIO, just to show you how much demand has ramped up and their kind of plans on how to deal with it and how they're working with it.
William, you had a very strong August. Deliveries for NIO were up 100% year on year. Can that pace of deliveries be sustained, do you think?
In fact, demand in July and August was even stronger than actual deliveries, as we had a conservative sales estimate at the beginning of the year. Our supply chain partners were not ready for even higher production. We are working to solve this problem in the current quarter. We believe production capacity will have improved in September. We will keep boosting capacity in the coming months, especially for the EC6, which started deliveries at the weekend.
So I hope you can see just from that quick snip how much demand there actually is for this product and how the company is ramping up towards it. A lot of these kind of new EV companies, they are kind of not necessarily a pump and dump as these people do with penny stocks. There's real value here, and they're really working hard to get the cars out the door and get them onto the road ultimately. So as they keep growing, they'll eventually benefit from economies of scale with these new factories and be able to produce cars for hopefully a cheaper amount, because there's a lot of demand for it and people want to buy it. And once they've got this economies of scale going, they can lower their prices, they can start to produce more cars, they can focus on more affordable cars to the wider public. Again, this builds their brand and gets more cars on the road and builds their brand image. Okay, now going on to how the market is growing. So there's a few reasons why the market is growing, especially with EVs and in China. So obviously EVs as a whole, with the whole climate change thing going on, but this doesn't really make them special. Anyone can make the EV cars. What makes them special and why NIO? Again, going back to the government subsidies and mixed with the government and climate change. So they are, I know in the UK they're stopping production of petrol and other fossil fuel based vehicles from 2030, and this is going to be a similar trend across Europe, America and Asia. So EVs as a growing market, so they need to dominate their position now. So whilst China government is heavily backed into NIO, they've actually offered them, I think there's hundreds of millions worth of dollars to actually fund their production and getting electric vehicles out. And that is specific to NIO. Tesla and other EV manufacturers don't have this, at least in China. Okay, so and also NIO is not only a car company, they are integrating their software into these cars, which makes them special. So they're offering their self-driving, so NIO's processing chips have been more powerful than 7 of Tesla's self-driving computers, which they have in their Model 3. So NIO has the processing power in its computers 7 times better. Not only this, they have a better camera in it and their most sophisticated night driving system in a vehicle. So in the last year, their sales have doubled. And as well as this, going about the software and also the hardware. So NIO, as well as their onboard computers, NIO's new ET7, which I said about the premium sedan, offers 700 miles of range, whereas Tesla's highest model is only 400. So it's almost doubles Tesla's highest performing long-range vehicle. NIO's almost doubled that. Okay, so there was some key things about how NIO is directly competing with Tesla and some of the differences there. So now I'm going to go into some reasons why you should buy the NIO stock. Okay, so NIO, as I said, is struggling to keep up production. It needs to get some cash capital, so it can build factories, get resources in and manufacture and produce their cars. So NIO has plans to build 285,000 fast chargers. It currently has 792 power chargers and 100 power charging stations, and more being built every day. So this means NIO's power map already has connected to 285,000 public fast chargers spanning over 300 cities in China. So they have a dominant position in the EV charging market as well already. So battery prices are decreasing substantially, and they'll continue to decrease due to a strategic partnership to build batteries out of more accessible materials. NIO also has announced that 150 kilowatt an hour solid state batteries, which is the largest ever built, covers, like as I said, about their 600-700 mile range. So NIO has also announced a partnership with Intel. This is to build a taxi fleet. Again, this is going to be another massive profitable and new upcoming business with their self-driving computer systems and software, which Tesla couldn't copy as effectively. They also offer competitive advantage by offering batteries that can be swapped out in a few minutes. So there's no other EV manufacturer that does this. So instead of going to the charging station, with Tesla's one of the biggest things, even their superchargers, they can still take 15-20 minutes to charge up to full. And I think a lot of them even longer. NIO's offering a service where you can actually just swap out your battery. You can pull over to the station and they'll swap your battery, which can take 5-10 minutes. And then you can be on your way and then swap it when you next need it. So this is a really good different idea, which is really innovative, and it disrupts the market heavily, which could give them a competitive advantage. Obviously, this is very dependent on the execution. It sounds like a good idea, but again, it has to be within that kind of time frame. It has to be a quicker and more suitable alternative. And also that means there has to be a lot of quality control within the batteries, making sure they are suitable to be switched in and out of the vehicles. Again, I started off this video with their new ET7 sedan. It's a beautiful car. It comes with all features you'll expect in a premium car. So it's got the heat and massage settings in both the front and rear seats. It has 5G, Wi-Fi, USB, Bluetooth, all that stuff. It's got a 650 horsepower, 850 max torque. So obviously it comes with the standard NIO autonomous Aquila driving technology and NIO's Atom supercomputer. And it's got the world's first UWB digital key. It's got soft closing doors that literally close themselves. Again, I know this is in the Tesla as well, but it's good that they can keep up with the technology and in some cases advance it. They've got invisible smart air vents, meteorite chrome accents, and it's got smart AI voice technology that will learn and adapt to you. Again, this is going back to that software, which makes them stand out. And it makes them bigger than other car companies such as General Motors, because when they build the software, it has multiple applications. It can be used in other industries as well. And obviously it's got that full glass roof just to make it look really nice. Also, NIO's position in the market in terms of their balance sheet, they have billions in cash on hand, which means they can do what they want when they want. They have lots of possibilities to expand, build new factories. It's just a matter of getting the shovel in the ground and getting going with it. Yeah, most recently they've had amazing quarter-3 earnings and deliveries. If I can go down here, you can see their revenue growing. So you can see quarterly how much it's just drastically increased. From the start of 2020, you can see it's more than doubled its revenue. And along with the increase in sales, they're roughly about 1.8 million EV sales in China in 2020 alone. And according to reports, the Chinese government, they say they want at least 6 million within a few years. So that means there's a potential to grow threefold there at least. That's not including any expansion across Europe and America, and obviously in other outside of China, but the rest of Asia as well. So they're predicted to be profitable in 2021 at the end of it, Q3 or Q4. This is the new ET7 pre-order could also bring this a bit forward if a lot of people like it, which looks like there's got a lot of positive feedback, so it looks like it's going down really well. So there are also some analysts with their views on the price. So there are a lot of saying how obviously the EV sector will explode in 2021. People can take that for granted. I would argue it's somewhat priced into the market, but there was an article published by Benzinger and it stated about the share prices reaching $100 in 2021. As I mentioned, it's currently around $56. And there's also by 2023, there's analysts saying it could be well past $200. So this was an article published by Fool. It revealed that more billionaire investors are buying shares in NIO. This shows that they've got confidence. You tend to think people with a lot of money tend to know how to use it and invest it, which isn't always the case, but it's reassuring that people with money, and you hope they've at least got people by their side who will know what they're doing and what to invest it in. Again, going back to about their superiority in technology and software, so NIO's Atom supercomputer, it has more computing capacity, as I said, than 7 of Tesla's computers. And this leads on to their software again with their autonomous driving, their camera. So their technology is 6 times better than the camera resolution on a Tesla, which means it's got well equipped, and it's got this InnoVusion ultra long range LiDAR technology, which has a detection range of 500 meters and has 300 lasers working all at the same time, which makes it, or it's claimed to be, the world's best nighttime autonomous driving technology. And again, another point just to elaborate with their power swap stations. So they've already completed about 1.5 million power swaps. They've got a new power swap station 2.0, which was announced, and each station will complete 312 swaps daily. NIO vehicles can drive themselves into the power swap station, have the battery swapped, and a NIO, however, a total of 500 power swap stations in 2021. So that was just shows how much demand they're increasing it by, and they're also having the infrastructure to keep up with the demand and keep customers satisfied. So that was a quick fire load of reasons why I think NIO is a really strong buy. Now I want to go into NIO's future, as well as the reason why I said before. I just want to elaborate on their expansion into the globe internationally. So a key point here is a lot of this has been focused on the Chinese market, which is a great and relatively untapped market, but they are looking to enter Europe into early 2021. That is a rumor, but it's very likely. Obviously being in Asia, they have really close links. It's not across any kind of seas as it would be moving over to America and trying to sell their cars there. In their future as well, to do this, they've raised 1.3 billion in convertible notes. I think these are due in 2026 or 2027, and their interest rate was abysmal. It's like 0.5%, so they're literally being given free money, and they're also convertible so that people can swap it for shares at $96 in 5 years' time. So that again provides confidence that the share price is going up, as people have put in over $1 billion into this company for a convertible with a share of at least $96. So these can be used to increase the production. And again, that's just their focus. They need to get their shovel in the ground, build their factories and get their cars out to consumers. So as great as this stock sounds and as much as I believe in it, obviously it does have some risks. So whilst I do think it has a strong future, I think this is heavily priced in at the moment. Again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, the stock has returned 1,200% in the last year. If you just look at the last few months, in the 3 months it's gone up 100%. It's just absolutely just not stopped. Obviously, as soon as I put my money in, I put about £500 in, and it drops 10%. And I'm not worried. It is a really long-term stock for me, so I'm quite excited about this company. The key things for it to survive and thrive, it needs to continue with the innovation and disrupt the market and be one step ahead of Tesla in their software, in their execution. And they need to keep pushing their sales and marketing it across Europe and America as well to really get that growth in. So whilst NIO's still definitely got a lot of room to grow, there is some things to note regarding its price, namely its projected earnings growth. So it's how much its price related to its future earnings is currently sitting about 26 times, which is a very high ratio. Tesla is, to put it into perspective, is at 12 times projected future earnings. So you can see people have priced in a lot of growth into NIO, so it really needs to overperform to make sure it is competitive and make sure the stock price is justified. So as well as this, there are some other risks relating to NIO, namely is Tesla's new Model Y. So they are producing this in Shanghai as well, I believe, and it does undercut the price slightly, I believe. But not only just the Model Y, Tesla is talking about releasing a $25,000 Tesla, which is extremely cheap. The NIO has some thoughts on this. Again, going back to that Bloomberg interview, you can see NIO's thoughts on this and how they're trying to compete with Tesla in that market.
Elon Musk has talked about a $25,000 Tesla. What do you know about these plans? Do you imagine that that would have to be manufactured, that $25,000 Tesla, in China, given the labor costs and the supply chain?
Undoubtedly, battery costs for the entire industry have been declining. I believe the overall battery cost decrease will help promote EVs. In the Chinese market, the average price for our cars is more than $60,000, which is $15,000 higher than Tesla's average in China. So we have a lot of work to do in this market. In the long term, we will definitely launch more cheaper products, but that's not our priority at the moment.
Elon Musk has talked about potentially producing 1 million units in China. How much of a challenge is Tesla now?
I think auto products aren't only about cars, but more importantly, serving customers well. For families, a car isn't a small expense like clothes. It's big spending, and it's closely related to safety. So we pay a lot of attention to service and quality, which I believe will be the biggest challenge for all automakers undertaking rapid expansion.
So in that interview there, you can clearly see NIO does have an answer for competing with lower priced Teslas, and that main is they're focusing on quality, not price. And in the future, they will work into budget cars, but at the moment, they're focused on quality. They know people value cars. They know that it's more than, he words it as cheap, but it's not just buying a piece of clothing. You know, it's a big purchase. And I think in China more so, I think they tend to have lower income than people in the US, which means when they buy such a huge purchase, they expect high quality goods. And this is what NIO is focusing on. And that's a key fundamental here as well against NIO versus Tesla.
Again,
is the quality versus quantity.
Why I think
NIO is catching up on that production kind of side of things, but it also is maintaining its quality and being a premium brand.
They currently have a market cap of 92 billion. And if we just scroll down and search into Tesla, so NIO's market cap is 92 billion. If we scroll down to Tesla, you can see their market cap is 400 billion. So right there, that's almost a 5-fold increase. But the EV market is only growing. So it's really interesting to see how they compare. But my money is on NIO because I think it's got more room to grow than Tesla currently does. Obviously, a lot of people have been wrong in the past year betting against Tesla. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But let me know your thoughts. I'll be interested in hearing if you have any NIO in your portfolio. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.